And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height.
Yes, sir. Super. Go.
Again, Goff. And this is caught. And they've got the lead here in the fourth. They didn't want the tie. They roll the dice and they take the lead.
That felt like a tone setter, didn't it? Forget tying the ball game and feeling like we're just hanging with you. We're going to go ahead and push it to a one-point lead, and that just changes the complexion of the whole game.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Great. Great. 82. 5
On first and 10, here's Wentz. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On second down, Adams. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. From midfield, here's Wentz. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This is Ajayi. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, 28 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Line. Run.
Working from the gun, Wentz being chased out left. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Really wanted to hit Aguilar.
Elliott now to kick this one away.
He ran the out slant, like the flat slant.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
DC. Hey, lift.
Another carry now for Gurley. And an alley to run. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Go, 12, go. 17, 17, 17. Louis. DC.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Looking at this situation, if they get a field goal out of this, it helps. But a touchdown would really help into going to secure the victory.
You know what I'm thinking right here? In the West Coast offense, in their parlance, every time they throw the football, they say they're either throwing it for a touchdown or a check down. In this case, it's either taking time off the clock or getting that touchdown that really puts you in firm control. I think they'll go either way on this one.
They fake the give. Now Wentz steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Go. Ready?
Now a toss play. It's a Johnny. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
DC. Hardball. Go, 12, go. Hardball.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
He'll look to throw. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
12.
to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. In for the score. And the Rams are now just a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
They would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. They're going to try and run for it. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Back to throw. Wentz eluding the pressure right. Caught right side is Jeffrey. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Now Wentz. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Wentz to throw. And avoids the contact by sliding. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They run with Ajani. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. To throw is Wentz. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? In the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a